Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 26 of the Carrieroldanshow, where we spend 30 minutes or so a week having conversations that matter to the entrepreneur's body, mind, and business. I'm your host, Carrie Roldan, and I'm a wife, a mother, a runner, a best-selling author, run yourself happy, get your copy today, and a personal growth junkie, and your total business BFF. And I've been getting this question a lot lately, which is, what is a BFF? It's best friend forever, and that is who I am. I'm your business BFF. So I help entrepreneurs to find their business mojo. We make it fast, fun, and easy to add more value to what you're already doing, as well as add multiple streams of income to your business model. So if this sounds like something you needed like yesterday, then let's chat. You can set up a complimentary strategy session at the link in my lower third, which is right here, carrieroldan.com/strategy session. Just select your time slot and you will be added to my calendar. Okay, so I created this show, the Carrie Roldan Show, because I have stumbled, and I continue to, on my entrepreneurial journey, because the road to success thus far has been full of potholes, detours, and dead ends. Not to mention self-doubt, fear, worry, debt, marital tension, and personal struggle. And I wanted to share what I continue to learn on my journey in the hopes that it will help you guys too. So, you guys, online entrepreneurhood, it can be a really lonely place, actually. But I'm on a mission to help us connect and to get real, and that's why I've created this show. So today's topic is something I'm really excited about, and I just want to acknowledge my dog barking in the background. So if you can hear her, that sucks. I believe the mailman has arrived, and hopefully that stops short soon. Okay, so today's topic is intuitive art as a business roadmap. Say what? And let me just ask you a few questions because they certainly are relevant to me. So here's the questions. Don't you just wish you had the answers to your most pressing business and personal struggles? Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a way to connect with divine wisdom and get a business roadmap? And the third pressing question is, are you willing to play with me? I am so excited for this one because I have Rachel Archelaus back on the show this week. You may remember Rachel from episode 9, where she helped me answer the question, what's my freaking purpose already? And that was, and it was in preparing for this show, I went back and watched that show, which was actually episode 9. And I was telling Rachel in the green room, it was so prophetic, right? I didn't realize at the time because I was just in the moment. But looking back months later at that show, I was like, whoa, that was awesome. And so if you get a chance, I encourage you to watch that show just so you can sort of recognize, I think, the gift of the moment, and the whole answer to the question of what's my freaking purpose already was to just step more into myself. And isn't it funny, right? The more and more I do that, the more of my purpose I find. So yay for that. Okay, so let me get back into my notes. Okay, so at the end of that show, I knew I had to have Rachel back on, and then I got invited to an intuitive drawing class that she was offering, and I loved it. And I will actually give you a chance to access that later on today because it was freaking awesome. But you guys know, right? When I love something, I have to share it. So I asked her to come on, explain the process, and guide us through it together. So I need you guys to play with us. So if you don't already have like a blank sheet of paper or anything really, you can be in a notebook, whatever. Maybe you have an artist canvas or something awesome. I have paper and crayons because that's how I roll. But a few things to play with that would be great. Because I'm going to attempt a drawing about the direction of my business over the next 6 months to a year. And Rachel has promised actually to do the same, right? To give a reading of it and to teach you how to do it too. So I'm really, really excited about it. And I know she is too. We've had so much fun in the green room already. So I'm going to move my notes over to the side. Rachel, ask you to unmute yourself and say hello. And
Hello. Hi, Carrie. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here and share intuitive art with you.
so, Rachel, I just assumed that everyone had watched the last episode, but let's not make that assumption. So, can you just give a brief introduction of yourself and how you sort of became this person who is teaching us intuitive art today? And I know in the last time I introduced you, I was intrigued by the fact that you had said that you were psychically gifted since birth.
Yeah, so I grew up openly psychic, seeing spirit guides and just kind of thinking they're regular people just like you and me, and not really seeing much of a difference between, the passed on side of things and this side of things. Like I could talk to my grandpa after he died, and I actually saw him more after he died because he lived in Florida. So I had a really unique perspective on life, and I could also access my higher wisdom that we all have, through intuitive art since I was 11. So it just kind of like stumbled into my lap. I was just painting a painting for my mom. It was a birthday present, and I looked down at it and I knew what it meant. It just kind of popped into my head, and it told me that she compartmentalized her problems, and she was in pain, and it was sad. But I went to her and I said, "Is this what you're feeling?" And she said yes, and she was a little blown away, and she didn't know how to take that, but it didn't stop. And so I've been doing intuitive drawing for about 20 years now, a little bit more, and using it to channel my higher self, to get answers to questions outside of my head, and helping others do it. And I know we'll go more into it, but that's basically my upbringing, just knowing that we have more, access to answers than just our mind, and that often the answers we get outside of our mind are more helpful than just trying to think about a problem and solve it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. It makes total sense. I think I was explaining this to you in the green room that for me, it's very easy to what I call it perspective, because that's a comfortable word for me when I start to say I'm accessing my intuition. Even though I know I'm highly intuitive, if I call it perspective, it's that it lets me off the hook a little bit because it's very easy for me to access my intuition, to get very strong knowings for other people, to feel other people's feelings. I think that's why I'm so great at helping people with their businesses. I've been wanting to brand myself, or to call myself an intuitive business muse. Like I really want to be that. I'm not sure if I'm ready, like, to step into that skin. That's a whole different conversation. But yes, so I totally get that there are answers hanging around outside of us. What I think is interesting, at least for my own journey, is that it's really, really hard for me. I think I want to think my way into accessing my intuition, right? I want to like force it. And that becomes challenging. And yes, I just saw I had a rubber band on my wrist, so I'm taking that off because I want to look super professional. Okay, so before I ask you the next question, Rachel, I just want to acknowledge the people who are here because I love them. And you guys, I didn't get comment tracker up. So Dana is here. Hi, Dana Rivera. Monica is here, and she says, she's so cute. She says, I always cross my fingers that my recurring 10 a.m. meeting on Wednesdays will end up in time for me to join these calls live, but it doesn't look like that will happen. So I'm excited to listen in replay. So Monica, sorry, we've missed you, but I'm glad you popped in to tell us that. And then Pamela, who is just one of my all-time favorites, says, let the magic begin. So I love it. So Rachel, let's talk about exactly how all of us, could create a drawing and be able to look at it and have that experience that you had where I know what it means. Like create a drawing and have that drawing actually tell us something, or a painting or whatever. How does that work?
Yeah, so it's actually super duper really quick and simple, and it's 3 steps. The first step is really just realizing what you want to ask. Like, what do you want to know? Why are you doing the drawing? So I call it the intention step. So also a really good tip is to imagine that you're going to type this into Google. Like if you type into Google, what is my life path? You're going to get lots of kind of gobbledygook. It's going to be for different people. It's going to be, you know, really random. If you can make your question really specific, though, you're going to get a really amazing answer. So same thing goes with asking your divine wisdom. The more specific you can be, the better answer you'll get. Step 2 is drawing, and you do it with your eyes closed so that your bigger self is picking the colors and not your judgmental mind. And then step 3 is decoding. And that's really where you look at the drawing, you open your eyes, and you use the context of your question to read the drawing and know what it says. Now, that sounds probably really out there, but it's made easier by the fact that you have a color sheet that tells you what each color means to you. So that way when you're doing the decoding, you have reference. You're like, okay, there's red here. My red means passion. And I've got purple here, and my purple means spirituality. So I need to link my spiritual values with my passion. Like, it becomes really doable and easy for even doing it your first time. And I know you have your color sheet, right, Carrie?
Yes. So I have my color sheet, and I'm sitting here. I'm just going to ask you what you think. I'm sitting here wondering, should we tell people where to get that right now, or wait until we've done the drawing? I'm putting myself in their shoes and wondering what would be best. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you could get the color sheet, but it won't really do you much good until you do the whole meditation to fill it out. So it's probably best if people do that part after, so they have time to fill it out. And then when they do their drawing here with us, afterward they can figure out what it says and not feel rushed or anything like that.
Okay, I actually think that's a great idea, and I'm going to turn mine over, because I'll tell you what, when I did the meditation first and then I filled out my color sheet and then I went to do the drawing, I think I knew what I wanted my drawing to say, and so I think I was trying really hard to make it say that. So this will be better. So you guys, we totally planned this. This will be perfect for you. So I have a question in mind. And can you tell I'm super excited for this, you guys? I have a question in mind, and I just want you guys to play with me. And you can ask the same question, or you can ask yourself a different question. But Rachel and I are gonna, we're gonna do it. So Rachel, do you want to walk me through the process?
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go back to that step number 1, where you just want to take a moment and just think about the question that you want to ask. And you can even say to yourself, okay, higher self, I'm going to draw the answer to ... You know, what steps can I take tomorrow to raise my income? How can I know what my next step in business is? Whatever your question is, just take that moment. You don't have to feel anything, but just state what you're going to draw. And that's number 1.
Okay, so let me do that. So number 1 is, my question is, how do I earn, and I have a number in mind, per month, like right now, and I would like to do that joyfully, consistently, and as passively as possible. So that is my question. So I'm saying that out loud to my higher self and to all of you guys, and that is my intention behind this drawing. So you guys can think about what yours is. And Rachel, I'll put you on so we can do step 2.
Okay. So step 2 is the drawing part. And so you want to have all of your colors on the side of your dominant hand. So, you know, you have your paper on one side and then your colors on the other side. Mine are on the right because I'm right-handed. And then when you do the drawing, you're going to close your eyes so that you're not prejudging what you're grabbing. And this will make more sense once you have your color sheet. You know, like Carrie was saying, she wanted it to be certain colors, but that's not going to fly here. So just relax, close your eyes, and you're going to listen for 2 different sensations. One is when you time to change color. So you're going to pick up something, you're going to scribble, you're going to put it back. You're going to pick up a different color, you're going to scribble, and then you're going to put it back. And you're going to feel that sensation. The last sensation you're going to feel is stop. So you're just listening for change color and stop, and it'll probably happen really fast. and your drawing will look something like, you know, a scribbledy mess.
Okay.
That's exactly what you want. Okay, so we're not painting a picture. You're putting all the power into your hand. So there's nothing going on up here. There's nothing going on up here. You just want your brain to be in your hand.
Okay, so shall I? Is it time?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm putting the camera on me so you guys can watch me close my eyes. Rachel is actually, this feels funny because I'm going to talk to you with my eyes open for a minute, but Rachel's actually also doing an intuitive drawing for me with my question in mind. So here we go. I'm going to close my eyes and find my paper. It's making me smile. All right, I think I felt the stop thing. I'll be honest. I'm a little nervous knowing that I'm doing it live and that you guys are watching silence. So we'll see how well that works. Because, but yeah, so I have my drawing done, and it doesn't look anything like what I did because the first color I chose was white, and I didn't recognize that it wouldn't be seen. So maybe I can. So actually, Rachel, I'll ask you about that. Are you done? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to show you my drawing, and I hope you guys are liking this. This is so fun for me. So here's my drawing, which I'm looking at my screen, and I want to make sure that I think I'm going to take my camera off and do it flat. Now you guys are really getting behind the scenes. I can't do that, actually. So
I saw it. It was good.
Okay.
I held it up. It was fine.
Okay, so the part that you can't see though is white, and it is like, so I drew like a white tornado in the, it started here and it went like that. So yeah, I drew a white tornado on top of the yellow that I can now see that is nearly impossible to see. So what do you need? Tell me, what do you see?
So when you are gonna decode your own drawing, what you'll do is you'll look at your color sheet and then you'll look at your drawing, and if you need to, write down like what white means over the top of your white. And so I had a lot of yellow there, so you'll look at what your yellow means and then you'll put it next to the yellow. And as you look at it, you'll kind of get a sense for, well, geez, this is a tornado. This feels like stress. This feels like I'm running my mind around in circles, and it's almost like shooting off the page, and that's not really the energy that I'm looking for. Like, you wanted passive, easy money, right? So you'll see like there's some things maybe you need to shift in yourself. There's something you're missing perspective-wise where you're making it way harder than it has to be. And so like you'll pick up on all these things when you look at your drawing, and you just allow yourself to see the whole picture. Plus, you'll have your own color meanings. Like, what does white mean for you?
Ooh, let me look it up. Now I'll look at my color sheet. White. Oh, actually, maybe white tornado isn't so terrible. It says open, clean, free, soft, light, angelic.
Okay. And what does yellow mean?
So yellow for me is bright, open, youthful, and free.
Okay. All right. So see how knowing the color meaning changes everything. So this was about how to make a certain income goal, and those things are really present in that flurry of the lines, like that flurry of activity. So how can you be more like that? How can you be more light and open in your activity and more joyful and happy? You know, those are things that you're going to want to ask yourself.
Ooh, I like the answers to those questions.
Yeah.
Right? Because that feels pretty fantastic to think, okay, in order to make this income that I'm wanting, I actually need to be more light and open and free. And the word playful hasn't come up, but that's what's coming up for me now. Instead of trying so hard to get to that income, like to do the right things, I guess. So I'm liking it so far.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you just keep going with that, looking at your own color meanings, and that's why this is such a personal experience. You know, that's why you do go through that step of creating your own color sheet, and I don't just give you the color meanings. Like, we all relate to color really differently, and your subconscious is going to tell you how you relate to color in that meditation, which is in the free class that Carrie has a link to.
Yeah.
It'll bring you to the Oracle, and then it'll ask you if you want to watch the class. So you can totally do all this stuff yourself. But I'm excited. I want to show you what I did for you.
Ooh.
I think my original assessment of your flurry was kind of based on mine. And this is showing some great stuff. So this pink is my love color, and it's throughout everything. And it's asking you that same question. What do you love? What would you do if you could do anything? You know, how can you bring more love and enjoyment into what you're doing in your business? And then there is this blue here, and this is a really deep blue. And to me, it's all about really deep healing of things that you've kind of had in your body for a long time. You were programmed to believe these things. It's a very deep level. And I believe it's asking you to heal some of these, like this is a mental color here, and the blue is touching the orange. And so how can you heal some of those old programs to open you up to have a bigger income? You know, maybe it's as simple as letting go of thinking like you have to create a program a certain way. Maybe it's letting go of the fact that you think you have to deal with clients in a certain way. Maybe you're supposed to be doing a new kind of hybrid coaching program, or whatever it is. There are some perspectives that you have right now that need to let go of. You need to heal. Instead of creating your business from a place of personal wounding, you need to create your business from a healed, whole state.
Okay, this is so good. Okay, I'm so excited.
And then this red here is action. So the the mental color kind of goes into this action color, and right now you're trying to think a lot and then do. So it's like, think strategy. Well, this worked for this person, and then I'm going to do it, and that's not really working for you. What you need to do now is infuse love into that mental process and that strategy, because those aren't going to go anywhere. You're still going to have to think about stuff and do things, but you want to do it in a new, inspired kind of way. And here is the really important like kicker of the drawing. There's a white X here and a brown X here, and they're asking you to look outside of what you know now. This white X is about your truth, and see how it's not touching anything really? It's kind of grazing all the other colors, but it's in open space. And this brown is about groundedness and embodiment, and it's also outside of most of those colors. So it's really saying your truest expression and genius is in a place that is not in your mind, and it's not in your repertoire of strategy and what to do in your business. So it's really about you playing like your drawing is saying, and letting all those old things fall, healing yourself, and coming up with a new idea. So if you can, and it's not as hard as it seems, right? Like, new ideas happen all the time. Do what you love to do. Go running or something. Open yourself up. Allow yourself to strip away those old conditions of how business should be, and you'll receive the idea.
Oh my goodness. I'm sure you guys can all tell. I'm like giddy with excitement about this, and the feeling that I'm feeling about this, my drawing, yours is so much prettier, but it is actually relief, is is, yeah, it's relief. It's probably, this happens, right, with intuitive drawings, is it's what my intuition, what the little voice in my head has been trying to say. And so for me, it feels good. It feels like confirmation. It feels like right, there's two kinds of knowing. There's like intellectual knowing, and then there's actual knowing. And it's what I actually know, but it's what my intellect has been fighting. So this actually gives me, I'm going to rewatch this like 1,000 times, but this gives me something really tangible, that like can help quiet my intellectual mind, I think, because my intellectual mind believes and understands that what you're saying is true. Does that make any sense?
It does. Yeah. And that's the best benefit of intuitive drawing. It's that we all have our intuition. We all know the truth of things, but it's hard to reconcile it when it's sitting right next to the doubt. It's like intuition, doubt, they compete with each other. So when you have intuitive drawing, you take it out of your head, like you put it in front of you and you can read it as an objective thing. And, you're drawing with your eyes closed. So this is not coming from your mind. It's coming from the bigger part of you. So yeah, validation is so important. I'm so glad that you feel, validated in what you've been knowing for a while. That's great.
Yeah, it feels super great. So I'm excited, and I want everybody else here to feel super great and to think about, how fun is this? And this is, you can tell fun is something I've really been trying to add into my business, because as Rachel's drawing showed, that blue thing was the healing that needed to happen in me. And one of the things I recognize that I really need to heal inside of me is my idea that, and I think I'm not alone in this, I think it's like widespread, is that what we do, our work in the world, what we do for money needs to be work, and that can't be fun. And like that seems to be, that's the message I keep getting over and over and over again, is stop making your work and start making your work fun. Why am I saying that? So anyways, what's going to be really fun for you guys is going to this oracle that Rachel has created that is super fun and mind-blowing, and it will eventually take you where you need to go in the terms of getting this sheet, which is the color sheet, and then introducing you to something that Rachel has created called the Intuitive Art Academy. So I'll put the link in, I can't type really fast, so I'll put the link in the comments in just a second, but it is carrieroldanshow.com/oracle, and it will take you to Rachel's oracle. So we are just about out of time. Rachel, do you want to take a moment to tell everybody about the Intuitive Art Academy?
Yeah, I'd love to. So there's two parts to it. There's a part of the Intuitive Art Academy called the Club, where you're just learning for your own personal use. We teach you how to do, drawings for your life, for your business, for relationships, for your career, just about anything that you would want to know personally. And we have live practice hours each month. It's very interactive. You get to meet up with other, people all over the world who are doing this for themselves. And it's really great for you to have this outside perspective on your life. It helps you really get more grounded, get more happy, figure out what you really want and make it happen. And so that's the club, and it's a really low price point, so everybody can be a part of it. It's only $28 a month, and there's a $1 free trial. No, not free, a $1 trial, but you know what I mean. So you can test it out for a whole month, and if you don't like it, just cancel. And then pretty soon there's, I'm going to be launching another round of the certification. So if this sounds like something you want to add to your current practice or do as a career, that's coming up too. So join the club if you're interested in that as well, and we'll be able to talk about that.
So good. So I have had a question, and I'm going to totally put you on the spot here, and it's okay if you have to go because we didn't talk about this in the green room, but Pamela is asking, can we show our drawings in the green room after the show? So regardless, Pamela, I will stay around if Rachel has to go, and you and I can talk about our own drawings, but Rachel, are you able to stay for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yep. I made the spot time this yesterday with my clients because I knew that we might go over, so perfect.
Oh, I love it. So Pamela, yes, you can join us in the green room and we'll talk on and on and on about all of this stuff. But to be respectful, I see we are at 11. So you guys, I hope this was really, really helpful to you. I hope that you, whether you're watching live or you're watching in replay, that you played along with me, and that I think so many of you are like me, and we do need to bring a little more play, a little more joy, and a little bit more fun into our businesses. And how fun is it to think that we could ask a question, do a drawing, and get an answer? I think that's pretty cool. So if you want to learn more about that, I really do urge you to go to carrieroldanshow.com/oracle. I did put it in the comments, and when I repost this, I'll try and put it somewhere as well, but carrieroldan.com/oracle, because it takes you to this amazing little tool that Rachel has created where you ask a question and she's done a drawing that has the answer. And that's awesome. And then it'll also take you to the color sheet and everywhere else you need to go. So on that note, Rachel, thank you for being here. We will join, you guys can join us in the green room as soon as I post the link. So hang on for that. And I just have a great big virtual hug for all of you. I love being here to support you in body, mind, and business. And of course, as always, if you're ready to schedule a strategy session with me, go ahead and go to carrieroldan.com/strategy session. We'll talk about what's going on in your business. I will access my intuition and we'll figure out a strategy that's right for you. So on that note, guys, come back next week. I will have the amazing Alexandria Barker on the show, and we'll just have another great 30 minutes together where we talk about all things awesome. So guys, thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.